Welcome back to Planet Doug. I'm out on the town with American Hobo once again. I've got him mic'd up with a lav mic, so you should be able to hear him clearly.
Yes, I'm all mic'd up.
I've got a lav mic here. And the American Hobo has sort of put himself in my hands. He basically said, like, well, Doug, just go do something that you would normally do on a day like this, and he'll tag along, and we'll see a little bit of Kuala Lumpur. So we're just basically out on the town.
And Doug, before we go too far, I'm gonna grab something to drink.
All right.
My favorite store, guys.
Favorite store, yeah. You've seen every 99 Speed Mart in Malaysia by now.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a convenient thing about my hotel. There's no 7-Eleven like right nearby, but there is a 99 Speed Mart. It's kind of cool. Something interesting I've seen about this restaurant, the restaurant Anj Najas Maju, is a nasi kandar place. I've actually seen a lot of foreigners here, like tour groups. So I think this restaurant is part of some kind of an organized tour. They bring a group of foreigners, like a small group, 4 or 5 people, and then they go behind the counter and they're making the roti, you know, they're flipping it, learning how to prepare the roti, things like that. So it's on some sort of, this itinerary for a local guided tour of some kind. And yeah, that's kind of interesting. So the weather is really nice right now. The skies are kind of blue and clear. So I'm taking Daniel at his word. And there's actually a museum that I've wanted to visit for a long time. And so I'm gonna drag him there. But he gets to walk through a new part of the city. He can film stuff along the way.
Yeah.
If he finds anything interesting here and there. But it's also right beside the heritage museums for all the prime ministers of Malaysia, like the Tunku Museum is there. I might take Daniel in there we'll walk through it quickly. But you can climb up onto the roof of one of the museums and get a nice view of the city. Things like that. Maybe go to the base of the KL Tower. That just occurred to me. I don't think Daniel has been there before. It's quite interesting. It costs a fortune to ride the elevators to the top, but
yeah,
it doesn't cost anything to walk around the tower. It's really kind of cool to go up there.
You know me, I like cheap or free.
Yeah.
Go cheap or go home. But so yeah, I'm leaving today up to more or less Doug. I'm just gonna follow him around like a lost puppy, and you know, hopefully he doesn't ditch me along the way.
I'm sure you'll find your way.
Yeah, it's no problem.
Yeah, I've got him on foot. He's off his bike, so he's out of his natural element.
Yeah, my natural habitat.
So, like, summing up your Malaysia bike ride, like,
it was awesome.
Jumps out at you, like a highlight, or?
I would say there's definitely the route I took was a very pleasant route, especially if you're planning on going very slow, because you can do the Singapore thing, jump across, get an extra 3 months. That's 6 months in Malaysia. If you want to do a nice long tour, you know, you could do 3 months on one side. I did 2 months on one side.
So you did the West Coast first.
Yeah.
Coming through KL.
Yeah, and I really think you should spend your time in Malaysia. First off, the people are great, but you get such a contrast from one side to the other. The west side being more, people say developed, but it's more city, you know, more attractions and stuff. But then you get to the east side and it's more like a small town feel, you know, like more camping, more, you know, and it's awesome on both sides. It's the difference is just, it's nice. It's really nice to do the whole thing. So,
did your YouTube experience change much when you came from like Vietnam, Cambodia, Thailand, Malaysia? Did that feel different? The audience, or
they always do, because also that you got to remember the change of weather too. So like where it was Thailand, or actually Vietnam, a lot of the traffic, and that really pushed my resolve to actually, can I complete this? Because that was the first time I actually tried to do long distance cycling. And so it really tested me right off the bat. But then Cambodia tried to cook me to death.
Okay, yeah.
I was almost like stroked out a few times. I mean, you could see me on the video, just like, I can't do this, you know, because it was hard to find shaded areas. You know, everything was like a small shrub. And unless you climbed up underneath the shrub, you couldn't actually get, you know.
I remember that I did a bike ride in Cambodia years ago, and it was hard in the countryside. It was hot. dry. Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah, it was hard to do.
But it was also beautiful once I got up to Angkor Wat too.
Yeah,
you know,
of course, Siem Reap in that area.
And then going into Cambodia, not much time in Cambodia, but really surrounded more around the Western food and stuff like that. So you could see that that influence very hard. And then, yeah, Malaysia, because I spent so much time here. So it was like I got to actually experience, because of doing that border run, you know, that just, you know, the visa run, that spending, because it's been a while. I've been here in Malaysia
4 months.
going on, yeah, you're gonna be 5 months by the time I leave.
Months, yeah.
So that's almost a half year, guys. I can't stay here forever. I can come back.
Right.
And I will on the island of Malaysia, the East Malaysia. But yeah, Malaysia's been awesome.
Cool.
And like I said, the only thing that was really the accommodation is not very big on catering to the lower levels of
Low
the
budget.
accommodation.
Yeah, that's true.
But then the food makes up for it.
Right.
Because you're getting the extra that you might be spending in accommodations, you're getting back on just the variety, and the prices of the food's a lot better.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So it's still easy on the budget. It's still easy on the budget, you know.
I just stopped walking for a minute because we walked through this market last night, late at night, and it was completely shut down. But since we're kind of walking around in it, do you feel like just strolling through here?
Yes, sure. Yep. I'm always game. And a lot of my audience is going to have to watch yours because I'm going to be lazy today.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm going to fit, like I was just talking to Doug. It's been very nice that I can fit 2 days into a 1.5 hour video, because the amount of time I've been editing, an hour's video for 1 day, it's a long time. It's 4 or 5 hours, but that's going to still be 4 or 5 hours. But if I can do 2 days, 4 or 5 hours, that's like half the workload. Okay. So plus it gives a good contrast between your videos and my videos. And yeah, so.
My video is very talky. If I'm not talking, I get you to talk. So,
yeah, no, that's a good thing though, because sometimes like on my videos, it's like, you notice I just don't talk.
Yeah.
Like I think my other day, it was like the whole first 10 minutes I didn't talk. So I added
Except
music.
for the hobo rambles, which I love, you know, when you kick off a day with those are, I love those.
And that's something I had to learn, because when I first started, I was like, no one wants to hear my stories, or should I tell the stories, and it took a few people to say, no, we like the stories. That's when I decided to start inserting them. But really, that's always been, this is one giant experiment, you know. It's like, yeah, YouTube creators are crazy. Wanting to take this on, it's just the amount of work. But it's funny how life writes itself, because every day I go out going, you know, I'm not going to have anything to film. Something always pops up, you know.
Right.
Or I was like, this day was super boring, and then you edit it and you're like, hey, it wasn't really that boring, you know.
So like I get that one running, and then I run this one at the same time. So and then I sync them up.
Okay.
So now this one, once it started recording, and then I do a little bit of an audio, like, I know I can line them up easier.
So they're both going to be running at the same time.
Yeah.
Ah, that's pretty.
So like I do this, and then I can put it down. So you do need two of them.
And then this is that's how you do it.
But then I sync them on the timeline.
Hang on a second. Before you explaining that, I'm going to be running everything off just my. I'm not going to run my speaker because I only got one. We're going to do a little tech talk here, guys. So this is behind the scene kind of how Doug has his setup. So one, I'm mic'd up. So he has me mic'd up with a lavalier that runs to my pocket down here. But he has two, can you explain?
Yeah, I can explain it pretty easily. I do this quite a bit. I've got one GoPro in my hand, my hand grip here, but then I put a second GoPro around my neck on this neck mount, and then I start this GoPro first, which is very key in terms of lining them up, and then I turn on this GoPro, and then I do a sound check, like, well, when both cameras are recording, I just clap 3 times, and it gives an audio peak, and I can line those peaks up, and that syncs up this video with this video. And then I take the 2 video tracks, 2 audio tracks, put them on the same timeline. And then as I'm editing, I switch back and forth from this perspective to this perspective.
And you keep the same audios throughout the whole
I
thing.
use this audio,
Awesome.
like this is also recording audio in a built-in mic, but it's not very good quality. But sometimes this audio screws up and then I do use this audio. But this audio I usually mute it. I turn it off. And this is the master audio.
And you're also linked up with, he cuts a hole in his shirt. I'm not sure if you guys ever noticed that with a little hair coming out. but he cuts a hole in the shirt. You don't usually notice it. You don't usually notice it until you're in person.
But I made a mistake this time. This is a new shirt I cut a hole in, but I cut it too high. So this actually...
So you got to send it down.
So actually I'm not even using the hole right now. I clipped it to my shirt.
Yeah, so normally he has it just a little like head of the speaker poking out and stuff so you can't see it. So I'm not, I don't do that. I got the little magnet thing, but yeah, so that's his setup. That's a little behind the scenes. I'll try, like I said on my last video, I wanted to start trying to throw more step behind just to see what a creator has to do and stuff like this. So cool, brother.
Yeah,
so
you learn things hanging out with other YouTubers. I met up with Seacology.
Okay.
He's a Malaysian YouTuber, very popular here. He does a lot of food and hotel and restaurant, videos. And then going out filming with him was so interesting because he was much more confident. Like if he goes into this market and he wants to talk to somebody, he just goes straight up to them and says, "Listen, can I put a mic on you?" "Sure, okay." And he puts a mic on them, and then he does this, and then he talks, and he's like, "Doom, finished, let's go, next spot." And he's like I'm much more hesitant,
assertive,
kind of laid back.
But that helps you because now you see how they approach it, and you're like, okay, I can approach it the same way, even though you might not be at that level. You can get closer to that level and feel more confident.
So you learn a lot from other people.
All right. Yeah, no, that's even good to know. Like, you're the first you're the first YouTuber I've ever hung out with, so you better impress me.
I'm doing my best, man. It's hard. I'm doing my best.
It's all on you, homie. All right, guys. I'm gonna stop saying guys too. I watched a video the other day where 2 girls were just constantly saying, "Hey guys, hey guys." I'm like, is that what I sound like? So I was just telling Doug I gotta drop that from my vocabulary. So stick with me a little longer, people, and I'll try and get rid of that. All right, we're good.
Both Daniel and I noticed something before we even went into the market. So this is quite interesting. I have no idea what it is. I would say like black licorice.
So it looks like dried out the jelly, the jelly candy that they have.
Yeah,
I don't know.
And there's some over here. I think the woman, she moved it from over here on the sidewalk. So over here, there's some colored candies.
Yeah.
But I have no idea exactly what they are. Yeah, they look like candies, right?
Yeah.
And then these black ones probably are also candies. But I have no idea. I've never seen them before. Seen that before.
Pop one in your mouth.
As I said, Daniel and I came through here late last night and it was completely shut down. All the market stalls were closed, but they're busy today.
Yes, sir. Great, no, thank you, sir.
Grapes.
Yeah, it's great.
Looks like it's grape season. Maybe it's always grape season. I don't know. Yeah, this is the grape section of the market. Yeah, YouTube. I'm from Canada.
Canada.
Okay, I will see you in a
Here's my channel.
My channel. This one my channel.
Yeah, Planet Doug.
I think YouTube.
Yeah, on YouTube.
Oh, on YouTube.
Yeah, and on the back there's also a QR code
Oh,
to go there.
Okay. I subscribe. Subscriber. Oh!
That's me.
How many subscribers? One.
Maybe 30,000, maybe
3,000.
30. But it's a very small channel.
Okay,
But-
you take this one.
Oh, okay.
No problem.
the grapes, where do they come from?
China.
Oh, from China?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't.
Oh, this is China.
China.
Mana this one?
Oh, okay.
China.
Made in China.
All China.
All from
Yes.
China. Okay. Interesting. So that's interesting. It never occurred to me that the grapes being sold here in the market would be from China. I thought maybe there was a grape farm.
So this is what a
district.
YouTuber looks like when he's filming.
That is amazing. Look at the colors on that. That's incredible.
Yeah, those are usually the grapes with seeds, I do believe.
Probably. And I always forget the name. Dragon fruit, right? For these.
Dragon fruit, yeah. At least that's one of the names.
Got some bananas up there.
These aren't bad. I don't remember what these are called.
Not to expose deep dark secrets, but we came through here last night and it was empty, like no people, but the rats had come out. I mean, they had taken over this place. So when you walk through here at night, you can see there's quite a large rodent population. They come out at night and yeah, they're in charge at night.
Oh, that's what this is the same one that we were walking through right on the other side.
Yeah.
Yeah, now that it has the fruit out, I thought it was a wet market being more like...
Yeah,
like
last night I thought it was a wet market too, but...
So, being like fish and stuff.
But it's more... Oh, and that's the same cat, I think. I don't know, we saw a cat last night. Right over there.
Can I try?
Oh yeah, it might be.
Mango, very sweet.
Ah, okay, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Beli dah ada.
Free sample of mango, very sweet.
Mango, very sweet. Camera. Hey, go.
From Canada.
Canada, okay.
Vancouver, Toronto. I'm from Toronto.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good mango. Yeah, very good.
Yeah, what are the difference of night and day from...
They're longan. I always forget the name of this fruit as well. Longan. Oh no, thank you. It's okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, rambutan.
Rambutan. It's like a crash course in the names of fruit for me. I always have to refresh my memory.
I don't think I've had that one.
No. And this is also another common. I always forget the name of it. Do you know this one here?
It looks like a fig.
It's...
I don't know.
What is this called?
Snake fruit, Malay, your name Salah.
Sala.
Yes, from Indonesia.
Oh, okay.
English snake fruit.
Oh, snake fruit.
Snake.
Oh, because of the scale.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It has like an armadillo skin
Right.
or something.
Okay.
That's crazy. Yeah, these are way underripe.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just not a big fruit eater, especially
I'm
when
not
I'm filming. Sticky fingers and all that.
Now I am like hot peppers and stuff like that. I love hot peppers. I like vegetables. I'm on vegetables.
Seems like a popular market with foreigners. We've seen some other Westerners go through.
It's a nice market, man. Look at all the fresh produce and...
You want to go up into the building just for a second, and then we can go up, come back down again. And I've never been inside the market building, but I'm seeing all kinds of Westerners here. Time to double check, and then you have to shut down in the reverse sequence. This one first. So this video is shorter than this one because that's the master.
Okay.
And then you shut down this one. We just climbed up into the market building. I think this is the Raja boat market. Though, to be honest, I was saying to Daniel last night, I'm still confused about which is the Chow Kit market and which is the Raja boat market. But this building in particular, when you look at it from the outside, it says Raja boat market. So is that part of Chow Kit market? I don't know. But yeah, it's a whole other world up here. Probably a couple hundred of these. Oh, look at that.
It could also be both. I've noticed a lot of things when you look it up on Google Maps, there'll be like 2 to 3 different names for the same place.
Yeah, that happens a lot.
And yeah.
Oh yeah, this is the wet market area over here.
Okay.
Part of the wet market anyway. That looks like a nice one, nice and clean. Very open, the space between the different stalls. Very cool. I didn't know it was so nice in here. There.
I don't see any active shops up top, but
No.
I mean, I see the ability to have open shops, I just don't see them.
Big. You want to go down there? This is enough just to get an overview.
Yeah, I don't.
I'm cool with
Yeah,
the
I'm
overview.
good with walking through the fish market. It's just usually
Sorry.
the ground is usually super wet and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
I don't want to go slip sliding around.
Yeah, I'm thinking this has to be part of Chow Kit because we just saw another group of foreigners, and Chow Kit Market is known as a place to go visit. So with this many foreigners here, probably
But Chow Kit Market could mean like the whole area and then each individual smaller market around it. I don't know. I have a hard time when I'm trying to go back through my videos and label everything. I'll usually have two choices in names.
okay.
But it's the same area. Maybe the off by just a little bit, but they're describing the same place.
Right.
Then a lot of times when you actually run it through the translation, through like Google Translate, and it says the park, you know, and like, you know, so, and it usually means the same thing, just in a different language.
I love this view.
Yeah, this is a pretty
You
one.
get to see the older warehouse style building over there,
Yeah.
and the market down below. Nice. Yeah, there's an energy to this market that I am not accustomed to, where all the fruit sellers were calling out to us, and
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of Pike's Place Market, like in Seattle, where they used to throw the fish around as like a
Okay.
gimmick or something. And there was a very noisy over there. But yeah, it's a market.
I'm smelling some baked goods all of a sudden. You smell that?
Yeah, like
Where's that coming from?
I don't know.
Smells really good. Typical Planet Doug style. I've had nothing to eat so far today. What about you?
Oh no, not really. I just had some coffee, and we could start looking for somewhere along the way to get some cheap food somewhere.
Yeah. If we end up going to the place I want to go to, it'd be better to get there earlier rather than later, just while the sky is still clear for the view,
Okay.
because the clouds could move in with the rain at any time.
Yeah, especially towards the evening.
I just wanted to pop in here because we saw it last night.
Yeah, and everything was closed down, so I
Yeah.
think we already mentioned that.
Yeah.
I had no idea that the rats would hang around this much fruit.
Exactly.
Because it looks so clean right now.
Yeah.
You know, and obviously not, this was all packed up and gone. It was just empty tables by the time that the little horses came out. Avocado seed. I didn't know you could eat avocado seed. If I see jalapenos, I'm gonna buy them. I just haven't seen any jalapenos in these countries.
Look at the colors here. That's great. All the dark greens. That's a really brilliant red. Brighter green. Different shade of red. It's very cool. Great market. Oh yeah, there's some of the
Hello, hello.
Okay.
Excuse us.
That man, I think, was their guide.
Oh, you think
He
it was-
said "Guten Tag" to me, so must be German visitors. Look at that! That looks so nicely laid out. That's beautiful.
They've all been laid out very nicely. That's why I was like so surprised.
But you haven't been to the Philippines, right?
Not yet. No.
Something you'll see in the Philippines is in markets. It's almost like they compete for the most artistic expression of their product, where they make little works of art. They take all little bits and pieces and like a sculpture almost. It's really quite something to see. Oh yeah, this is the other wet market area over here.
This is actually where we came in,
Yeah, this is
through
where
the parking lot.
Yeah, this is where we came in last night.
Yeah.
Parking area for scooters. That's very convenient for coming to this market if you're a local person.
Yeah.
Just zip right in here, park, go
Yeah,
in.
no cars allowed too.
Yeah,
That's nice.
get your shopping done, get out. And this is where the real adventure begins over here.
Yeah. The try not to slip and fall on your butt adventure.
Yeah. I've been to so many fish markets in my life, and my entire life I've never bought a fish ever, or a prawn or shrimp, or I'm just not a fish guy.
I mean, well, I like freshwater fish, you know.
Oh yeah, I mean but have you ever bought a fish and then cooked
No,
it?
no. Well, I've never bought a cow and slaughtered it either.
Well, that's true. Yeah, exactly.
But I'd probably be more inclined to, yeah, no, it's usually a process, pre-cooked.
One thing I've noticed here is they do often have the cow head on display.
I think it's to show the recency of when it
Yeah.
was slaughtered. So you know that the meat's not too old. Like, hey, we just slaughtered this cow not that long ago. I think that's the reason why they have the head of the animal.
I'm sure it is. I've always seen pig heads
Oh yeah.
in other like in other countries, I guess, but
Yeah, I saw that in Vietnam a lot.
yeah. But it seems to be more rare to see a cow like that.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen like tubs of live fish anywhere. I'm accustomed to seeing that in like places like Vietnam, and you always see all the tubs filled with fish, and they're always like jumping out.
Yeah, they're jumping out.
They're trying to escape.
I've seen some Asian markets like that, actually.
We're stuck. You gotta turn around.
Unless you want to climb through. You can climb through.
Even here, touch and go.
Yeah.
Beautiful fish. And I'm no expert, but it looks like beautiful cuts of meat too. Looks good to me. Oh, okay. There's no way to get out here at all. We got to go all the way back.
Yeah, it looks that way, huh?
And all of the
Unless you want to duck through the bars, that's your only choice.
a lot of cuttlefish here, fresh cuttlefish.
There's a few live ones.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, over here they're a little bit
Those are
energetic, trying to
catfish.
jump out. Yeah.
And those wet markets are very limited on their time.
Yeah.
Seems kind of late for them.
It does, actually.
Yeah. I guess it's only 12:30 right now, 12:40. But usually it always seems like wet markets are almost like a morning thing, you know.
Oh. Bustling.
Well, you probably get your best business in the morning because you're selling to restaurants and stuff like that that need to start preparing food.
Right, that's true.
You know. So afterwards, it probably diminishes.
Daniel was just pointing out something that made a lot of sense to me. We just left from that market and I was wondering, like, why are there so many Western visitors, like so many foreign tourists there? And then we happened to be walking by the Hilton Garden Inn North Tower and the Garden Inn South Tower, these two huge hotels. So all the foreigners staying in these hotels, they just zip around the corner and they're at this incredible local market. So that's why there's so many. Yeah, we're right beside the monorail here in Phuket.
Yeah, fried bananas are always good.
Yeah, pisang goreng.
Ya, pisang goreng.
So 3.
3. Terima kasih.
Okay. Thank you. Terima kasih.
Same.
Sip, okey. Buat pisang goreng.
Oop.
RM2.
Terima kasih.
Terima kasih.
Not the best I've ever had.
No.
Pretty bad, actually.
They're native. I had some really good ones though before, where the guy, I don't know, he just did something with his batter where it's like very flaky and.
Up and over.
Sure.
The verdict seems to be on these fried bananas, no good. They're not very fresh, they're not hot.
And the banana's not real sweet.
No, it's not very good. But hey, banana's a banana. I've never gone up this pedestrian bridge before. This is a new experience. It's right in the Phuket neighborhood, but I've never actually come. They even have stairs.
This would be
Inside.
nice.
There's the Phuket monorail station. Yeah, these aren't good at all. Maybe it's, the banana tastes almost like it's not even ripe. It's kind of a sour.
Yeah, it tastes like tastes like a potato with a little bit of a banana flavor to it.
Yeah. The power of touch and go. So we're here at PWTC and we're only going 2 stops to Bandaraya. So yeah, on this side.
Only 2 stops.
Yeah. I hear a train arriving. It's probably our train. Yep. This is our train. Air conditioning. Just telling Daniel I should have done what I normally do, which is just take the monorail up to Titiwangsa, transfer there. But we walked all the way to PWTC. Now I'm paying the price. Hot and sweaty. Nice and cool. Oh, by the way, yeah, Daniel met up with a American Hobo subscriber, and he had a gift for you.
2 of them. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. But one we won't mention
Oh, you
out
can't.
of privacy. But no, this guy, yes.
Oh yeah.
Arish was a very friendly guy. We went and had breakfast together. He's a family man. He does rally racing, or used to. But he used to make t-shirts, and he asked which size I wanted, and I guess sure enough I got the American Hobo.
That's what I was getting at. Look at that. He's got the American Hobo t-shirts. That's a limited run though. You can't buy them.
Well, not. I can look into it. You know, I just find out what, you know, there might, you know, check if there's a copyright or anything on the image or something, because it is an image I just got off the internet. And so I did look up the artist at one time because I wanted to give him credit and also find out if it was okay and all this stuff. And so I just had to go through that process again before I start making t-shirts and or, you know, but it's just an idea. Merch is a long ways down the way, so. But yeah, it's a really, thank you, Eric. The shirts are awesome. Yeah. They fit good too.
When we got in the elevator this morning, I noticed we've got similar t-shirts. We're like twins now. Dual cameras.
Color. Yeah.
Dual shirts.
Yeah, I just don't have any holes in mine.
Yeah, actually, yeah, what would we do without subscribers? Because my shirt was also a gift from a Planet Doug subscriber. This blue shirt that I'm wearing is my favorite t-shirt, other than my Canada one. So thank you to the Planet Doug subscriber. Yeah, I've been wearing this shirt ever since it was given to me.
Yeah, no, I did very much appreciate the subscribers, and like I said, that one little incident with the catfish or whatever, that's not going to deter me from actually meeting, like, the last person I, you know, just taking a chance. You know, I've never met any of them, but they both turned out, both of the people I met here in KL that live here in KL, they're really friendly and stuff. So it's nice to have two very pleasant, well actually three total, but people that are very pleasant. And that kind of makes up for that one bad incident. So yeah, I'm always free to meet up with anybody somewhere along my way.
You heard it here first.
Yeah, yeah, he ain't gonna scare me away that easy.
Invite him to your party, so he'll be the guest of honor.
Just not down any black alleys. No dark alleys.
No dark
Here,
alleys.
follow me this way.
He doesn't know where I'm taking it today. You know?
Yeah. I don't got my pepper spray anymore.
Power of touch and go. Continuing a little journey today. This is a very familiar area to me. So that's the Bandaraya LRT station there, the pedestrian bridge, and the KTM trains if you want to get out to Batu Caves. That's where you're going. Yeah. And off in this direction there's a cluster of museums. And that's we're walking towards that. Very different from the neighborhood we just walked through with that local market. This is all very financial, a really nice set, like a university, a school. You can see the architecture.
And kind of confusing on how to get here unless you kind of knew, because I mean we had to zigzag through that whole area.
Beware of snake. So yeah, check that out. Maybe the snakes jump down on you from
That's what I think. We could get a fake snake and like toss it from behind the tree at someone.
Pretty hot.
Yeah,
walking towards this museum area. I thought while we're walking, in case Daniel wants to talk about it, I'll ask him, see if he does.
Sure.
I asked you a little bit about your experiences in Malaysia, but you also have plans to go to Indonesia, and you have some thoughts about that. What have you been thinking about?
Well, I have plans for the whole world, but but what it is if anybody ever wants to know where I'm going next, it's whatever's closest, because whatever's closest is also whatever's cheapest.
Right, okay.
You know, the farther you go in one jump, the more you're going to be paid. So, and I'm trying to check off the whole world.
Oh.
But eventually, because if I'm gonna live abroad and try not to go back to the United States for financial reasons, then I might as well continue on going to the spots I haven't seen yet. So.
Right.
Now, Indonesia, I kind of keep up in the air because I did think about going to do a rafting trip over there. But if it seems too dangerous or unreasonable, then I'll probably just stick on the bicycle as a fallback. Bicycle's always a good fallback, especially if it's a cheap bicycle, because it can be replaced. So I'm gonna look at, what is it, the
Batanghari River.
The Batanghari River.
The longest river in Sumatra.
Raftable River too.
Okay.
And it sounds like up top, the first third is like more of the rapids, but no one does it because it's not water rapids, which is good because that means safer.
Okay.
Right? Less chance of me falling off and bumping my head.
But you're going, whether or not you manage to do the river rafting trip, you're bringing your bicycle anyway.
I'm bringing my bicycle anyway.
And that, I was looking at the geography, we all were the other day, and to go to the headwaters of the Batanghari, you would go to Dumai by ferry. Right?
Dumai, and then I talked to some locals, well, we both did, over at the hotel. And she comes from Dumai area, right?
Yes, yeah.
And she's like,
Riau province.
Yeah, so even though there's not a Google Maps road that actually goes from the east side to the west side, there is a road there.
Yeah, and it's on Google Maps.
Is it? It's smaller then. I guess if you zoom in a little.
I told you I rode my bike there.
He did it too.
Let's Go Cycling did it.
But so I was thinking about doing the bus, but he's like, "Come on, man, I get it. I'm just toughen up."
I have I have an agenda here. I want you to ride your bike in Sumatra.
I do too. And kind of my audience is that the same one when she's like, everybody's used to me riding a bicycle, and I'm a bicycler now too.
Yeah.
I might be a cheap bicycler, and I might not know all the parts and everything, but that's fine.
All right.
But keep it cheap, keep it hobo, and but if I'm not going to be cycling, it would be walking, and walking is way too slow. So I'll get over there, I'll look into the rafting thing. If it's something doable, if not, then I'm just going to continue to the west side on the beach there. There's a beautiful
I was going to bring that
route
up. There was a comment left on my video this morning from a long-time subscriber saying, yeah, the west coast of Sumatra is just perfect for your style of hammock camping.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about that because I rode my bike all the way up the west coast to Banda Aceh.
Yeah.
And it's just deserted, empty, beach after beach after beach after beach with coconut trees everywhere, fishing villages. People would go nuts, like local people, to see you. You'd meet so many people. You'd have such a great time. So.
Yeah, and that's what it looks like. So it looks like I can do a straight shot, land in Dumai, ride my bicycle over there. I'll have my bicycle, drop by possibly that town I showed you, just to kind of check out what the water level's at, if I can even buy a cheap boat, because it would be a cheap boat. And then just kind of see how I feel about it once I get there.
Right.
If not, at that same location, if I go out to the coast, it's that beautiful coastal route.
Right.
And it's all about hammock camping and
you can go north. Where would you go, north or south? Like
I'd be going
north?
south.
South, towards Bengkulu.
Yeah, I'd probably end up missing the northern section above that, because I'd be going south and I'd need to wrap around to get back up to, start heading to the other side of Indonesia and Malaysia, the South, East Malaysia over there.
Okay. Just following in the footsteps of Let's Go Cycling?
More or less, because then I'm just trying to get all the spots I haven't seen yet.
I see.
So if I come around to that side, then I can follow that through to Philippines.
Okay.
And then start heading down towards like Australia and stuff.
You heard it here first. Those are some ambitions over here from American Hobo.
Well, I want to check them all off by the time I get to New Zealand, and there's a long trail in New Zealand that goes all the way from the very north to the very south, both islands.
All right.
It takes a while, but I'm figuring of doing that one too. But these are all ambitions, and like I said, every time I plan into the future, I'll change it 5-10 times before I do the complete opposites.
Yeah, me too.
All right, where are we going here?
So we're in the middle of all the museums. The banking museum, which we may or may not go to, is over here.
Okay.
It's the Bank Negara, the national bank, and they have a really interesting museum. Okay. Where I want to go first is here. This is all the Prime Minister's museums. I've been here many times, so I'm not going to do a deep dive, don't worry.
Okay, no, I remember you coming here on one of your videos.
But there's one museum here I haven't gone into, and for you, for your interest, I think we should zoom through the Tunku one, just for fun. It's got interesting architecture on the inside. It's a beautiful building.
Okay.
And then on the second one, climb up to the roof. That's where I want to go first.
Cool. Yeah.
Look at the views.
Yeah, like I said, people say, well, why don't you do the museums and stuff? I do museums. I love museums.
Yeah.
It's just, it's just a lot of times it's just out of my way because most of the towns I'm just passing through.
So yeah, so these are the three that are here.
Ah.
So this is the Memorial Tunku. He's like the founding father of Malaysia.
Yeah.
Abdul Rahman. He was the first prime minister. And then there's Memorial to Tun Hussein Om. I think he was the third prime minister, but I haven't been to this one. The
So there's 3 memorials altogether.
Yeah, there's 3 together.
Let's see if I get a picture of this. And then I kind of just feed in a picture later on, just fade in, fade out type thing. Okay, there we go. Let's see if I can get a straight picture.
And Daniel and I were just talking about all the various museums we've visited over the years and all the rules about cameras, and you can bring a bag, but you can't. You can bring a camera, but not a tripod. Bring a camera, but not a selfie stick. You gotta know the rules. But yeah, we're in the heart of the cluster of museums I was talking about. That's the Prime Minister's house. On the other side of that house is the Tunku Memorial, and this is the memorial to Tun Hussein On, who I think was the 3rd Prime Minister. And I've been to all of these actually multiple times. And there's a 3rd one here, Memorial Negarawan. And maybe I'll drag Daniel in there because I have not been inside there yet. That's the one I haven't visited. So, but for now, yeah, we're heading up to the rooftop just to get a view of the city. Daniel has a Pocket 3, so he will...
I'm trying to be sparingly use it. I don't want to, like you said, I don't want to end up with an hour and a half of footage because I don't throw away footage. When I film it, it gets on the video. So if I can sparingly try and reduce the amount I film, I'll rely on you.
My camera runs almost non-stop.
So is this where you give me a piggyback ride?
This is where you get yourself to the top.
Yeah.
I just like the view that opens up here. It's right in the heart of the city.
Yeah, let me film some.
He's filming. He's filming.
At least a second or two of this. Let me get the adjustment here. There you go. Ah, wrong one. That was a still shot. Here we go.
Yeah, we're part way up the stairs. You can see some of the skyline opening up. Almost went for a tumble here. Clipped the step with the toe of my sandal, and I recovered my balance, and I hit the next step with my other sandal. Nearly went end over end, but I caught myself.
That's a nice view, huh?
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
They make you work for it. Yeah, I was telling Doug, I would have never came up this way. I would have seen the gates at the front. I would have seen the security booth right there and how everything's fenced in. Man, he was just, he's right when you had to basically spend a lot of time in a place like this to realize that a place like this exists. But look, wow, that's an awesome view. I'm surprised there is no one up here. Oh, and by the way, we're on top of a living roof. So this is a roof, it's just a grass roof. So, a living roof. Yeah, this is a great view. Thank you, Doug.
So this is the Prime Minister's house.
Ah!
And that other one over there, that's the memorial building to the Tunku over there.
Do you think he actually spends any time in there?
Well, he did. He's not with us anymore.
Oh, okay.
But when he was Prime Minister, when Malaysia first achieved independence, this is where he lived.
So he wouldn't have had a successor move in, or?
That's a good question. It's not. I don't think it was used for that long as a Prime Minister's residence. They turned it into a museum. But when exactly that happened, who was the last p.m. to live there? Yeah, I don't know that. Not off the top of my head. I probably looked it up at some point.
Okay, back to the view.
Back to the good part.
So I'm going to drop a link to the name of this building down below. So if you guys want to come and check it out, because like I said, this is definitely a hidden gem that he's actually showing me. It's free to get up here, and wow, what a view! There's the Merdeka.
Yeah, and you can see Independence Square there. The
Where is that? Oh yeah, there it is.
Turrets there, the orange, and
Hang on a second.
there's the flagpole, the giant flagpole.
Yeah, there it is, right there. To a tree like this and actually string a hammock, but you know, it's
Yeah, we're looking at the world through the eyes of the American hobo. I was looking at this tree and I was thinking just sort of jungle, nature. He's thinking about, now where do I put my hammock?
well, you could walk across this one here and have the hammock as long as it's facing this way.
Right.
You go from tree to tree as long as you have a way to access into it. I've known people that strung up hammocks in trees high.
You'd have to be confident of your rigging.
Your footing and
because you don't want to fall.
yeah, yeah, and you also have to think about getting in and out.
Right.
But it was in Hawaii too, so it was like, you know, the hobos on the beaches there, they're like, hey, let's get the hammock up, and you know, half the time it's just a drunken idea.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, a tree like this, you could probably find a spot to string a hammock up in the tree. But yeah, what a beautiful tree, man.
How high up would you dare go?
I could actually do this one.
That one?
It's not too high up, but it also has parts I could put my hands on.
Right.
But I'm not real good with heights.
Because you can go way up there.
Yeah, I'll just stick to that being my canopy, and I'll sleep down below.
That's great.
That's a nice tree though.
Never occurred to me to look at a tree from that perspective before.
Well, you can get up in it right here. Look, there's a ladder.
Yeah, someone put it, it's like an antenna, right?
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure they're probably using it as a ladder to go up.
Right.
And then look, a ladder over string. Yeah, there you go. There's your access point.
Yeah, look at that.
There's your two. Yeah, that would be pretty easy. Nah.
It's all theory, though.
It's all theory. I get up
Guards
there.
are not going to let you be here overnight. I can tell
Oh yeah, definitely.
Not
Yeah,
here. This is not a camping ground.
yeah. Plus, I'd probably choose somewhere easier where I didn't have to actually trying to figure out the mathematics of exactly where I can string that up.
Right.
It's hard enough to find two trees that are a good set apart.
Right.
Yeah, it's an awesome tree.
So we're right outside the Tunku Memorial, and I've been in here a couple of times, and I've done 2 like deep dive videos already. So not going to do that again, of course. But since we're here, I thought it'd be a shame, since we're here, for Daniel not to at least poke his head inside and take a look around. So we're going to walk through the Tunku Memorial, but I'm going to go down to the main entrance. That's the more interesting way to go in. And this over here is the Proclamation of Independence for Malaysia. They have it out on display here, which is very cool.
Wow, it is bright out here.
It is bright. A lot of white rock reflecting everything.
Yeah, I better drop a pin on this one too.
We're down on the next level now. So here's the full name. I was just trying to talk about it with Daniel. Tunku Abdul Rahman Putra Memorial. And then from down here you get quite an expansive view of the whole complex. Ooh, midday, I'm telling you. Mad dogs and Englishmen in the noonday sun, right?
Ah, yeah.
It is.
Well, I'm Irish, so I'm Irish German, so I'm stubborn.
I just go out in the midday sun anyway. It's hot, I just deal with it.
You gotta remember, I start my bicycles trip usually right in the middle of the heat.
Yeah, I guess there I am different because I try to start cycling as early as possible to sort of be on the road before the heat hits, if I can manage it.
Well, I just, you know, if it ends up being decent weather or something like that, sometimes I don't want to roll out of the hammock because you get so many bad days of just like rain on you, and it's nice when you find a nice, safe, dry spot that you don't want to get out of bed sometimes. Or if you pay for a cheap hotel, they don't kick you out till noon, so. Whoo-wee. Ah, nice, a lot better here.
Yeah, there's a couple of the classic cars.
Yeah, nice.
Kind of a nice visual.
Yes.
Do you want to know the significance of this car, Daniel?
Sure. Did you know it? Yeah.
A little bit. Tunku was part of a group of officials from Malaysia that went to Europe to negotiate the independence of Malaysia. And then when they agreed on the date, and then they flew back to Malaysia, and then they announced the date of independence in Malacca in a big park. It was a big ceremony. And this is the car. They drove to the park in Malacca to make the announcement about Malaysian independence. It's not the exact same car, but it's the same model. So this is the kind of
car. So like a replica.
It is one of those cars, but it isn't the exact same one, I don't think. But.
Yeah, this one's too nice. I mean, you'd think, yeah, so this would be the original. Wait.
Yeah, so he rode in this car to Malacca to announce the date of Merdeka in 1957.
Nice.
And there's, I think that's a classic American car over here.
Cadillac, of course.
Yeah, Cadillac Fleetwood, 1959.
Ah, the Fleetwoods are always the best. So, Fleetwood. So, nice. Yeah, my grandma had 3 or 4 Cadillacs just because there was never a trade-in value on the Cadillacs. So it's like they only wanted to give you like $300 on the trade-in value when she would try and get another Cadillac. And she's like, well, then I'm not going to trade it in if it's only $300.
Okay.
She would get the other Cadillac, and eventually we had 4 Cadillacs just because they were never worth, not for $300. Not a vehicle that runs very good. So I think my sister's first car was a Cadillac, but it had the natural caddy slam in the back, where the shocks just naturally start drooping. Not that you're doing it on purpose. It just starts riding that way, and you could fit like 8 bodies in the trunk if you had to. So for sneaking into the drive-through movies. So
yeah, it looks like 2 cars, like one on top of the other. It's like 2 sets of headlights. It's like a sandwich, 2 cars.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Nice.
And we sign in at the desk and then we go in.
Okay.
We both signed in at the front desk, and we're now at the beginning of the Tunku Memorial. And as I said, I've been here quite a few times, and I'm not going to film everything in here, just a little bit here at the beginning. And then Daniel and I are just going to stroll through just to sort of take in the atmosphere, not read every single board. Not this time.
And cool down a little.
Yeah,
use the opportunity. It's beautifully done. Yeah, it's a beautifully done little the eye for detail and stuff like that is pretty nice. And yeah, like if you guys want to know more about this this museum, I'll try and put a link in the description of this video to the one that he came here during Independence Day,
right?
And which is just a few videos back. So I'll put a link in, and he spends much time here going over everything.
As promised, we just went through the 2 displays quickly, didn't take any video of it. But on the first floor, it's like the story of Malaysian independence and the role of the Tunku in the independence movement. Second floor is all about his family and his own personal interest, his own hobbies and personal interests and things like that. And then there's the third floor, which is up here, and the third floor is all about his life after politics. And he became a writer for the most part, and he was still involved in the history of Malaysia and the politics, but more as a writer and behind the scenes, an opinion maker. So there's one more floor to go through.
All right, let's go on.
I just like these the staircase.
Yeah, the staircase is pretty cool. Maybe I'll get a. Yeah, this is kind of cool. Hang on.
Oh, the Pocket 3 came out.
Yeah, let's see if I can get a.
Power of touch and go back at the LRT. So, just to make sure.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're here at Bandaraya, and we just go down to Pudu.
Pudu.
So we're thinking about getting some lunch. We had lunch here once before, my favorite restaurant.
Got unlimited free refills on iced tea, man.
Yeah, that's
free iced tea.
So I'm pretty excited about too.
Yep.
They have good food. I need a burst of eggplant.
Yeah, it was one of my favorite restaurants because, I mean, anytime you give out anything for free, you already got my heart, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, hell yeah. So they have good prices, good food. Yeah, good location too.
Yeah, just a little bit of a walk from the LRT station, but not too bad. When we went there the first time, I dragged you all the way there on foot from Chinatown. We walked all the way there.
Yeah.
And that's a bit much for most people. But.
You know, it just depends on how hard you push yourself. You build up calluses, so you don't pay attention to it. Well, it's always stinks to go uphill on a bicycle, but you get kind of pushed through it and stuff. So walking in the sun is the same way.
It is.
And there's the snake. What do you say? The octopus tentacles of KL.
KL, the highway system, yeah.
That's the road line of KL. I still have nightmares about that. Worst place in the world for a bicycle, trying to figure out if you're a foreigner. And I think this is ours coming up, right?
That's not ours.
Okay.
Ours is going in the other direction.
Right.
3 minutes till our train. But I do like these trains. They've got they look like Lego blocks to me. Like it's got a Lego shape. I like that tall.
Yeah.
What do you call that shape in geometry?
Square.
Well, it's more on a little bit of an angle, like shorter on top than the bottom. I don't know. There's a name for that shape, but I think it looks cool. Looks retro, I guess.
Yeah. Not very aerodynamic.
Yeah, maybe not. And this is our train heading to Pudu. Iced tea. We're on the hunt for some iced tea. Yeah, it works out really well because Pudu is right before where the two trains split. So you don't have to worry about which train you get on. Both of them go to Pudu. Power of touch and go. And we are in Pudu. Short walk from here will get us to my favorite mixed rice restaurant. Ooh, here we are, at long last.
GoPro mana ya?
Thank you. And I'm not being very adventurous today. Just gonna get a little bit of chicken for some protein. Going to get some eggplant because I love this type of eggplant. And then maybe a little bit of tofu. And the iced tea. So this is the place, 68 mixed rice in Pudu. I like eating here. And very simple meal for me, rice, chicken, eggplant, tofu, and then iced tea. Danny was looking for me. So what did we end up with?
I think it's chicken.
Oh, chicken, cauliflower, rice.
Cauliflower, yeah.
Nice little meal. The star of the show, iced tea.
Yes, that's why I love it here. The free ice, free tea.
I'll be putting down this glass and going back for a second one before I even touch the food.
Yeah. So mine came out to 11 ringgit 20 cents. What they do is they guess it here. So they kind of just look at how much you get and they go, 9 ringgit, 10 ringgit.
Mine was 10.60.
10.60. Yeah. So that's a good way of doing it.
It's not a bad price for a meal like this.
Yeah, it's good.
So how many glasses of iced tea for you did you end up with? The number 4?
No, I think I'm actually 5.
5?
Yeah,
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Crap. I thought I had a lot. This is number 4 for me. I didn't even see you get 5 of them.
1, 2. It might be number 4.
Number 4, maybe.
And maybe if you only had 4, I'd probably be keeping up with you. So
I'm just thinking we probably have to head out of here pretty quick. The temperature dropped. The wind has picked up. It's darker out there. Feels like a rainstorm is going to hit any minute.
yeah, but this is how. I'm sorry.
Oh, go on.
But this is usually how it is in the evenings, though.
Yeah.
Because of the heat, build up the heat during the whole day, and then yeah.
Just don't want to get caught before we get back to the LRT station.
It'll make good for good TV.
Good TV, but also destroy your camera. That's not good for TV. I guess he's going to go look at the sky. Here's our train. Take us back. Back to Chow Kit, maybe going to have a mango cendol to end the day. Air conditioning, empty seats. Paradise on the LRT. Nice.
Whoa, it's almost cold.
It feels good. Ice cold here on the LRT. Oh, nice. Must be the afternoon. Planet Doug is running out of steam.
Yeah.
My energy level is going down. We're almost back home, Chow Kit. The monorail train just arriving right now. Yeah, every time I've been with you in the system, we've had good timing. We make all the connections pretty early. Because you can wait 10 minutes for this train.
Yeah.
Every time I've been here with you, the train shows up as soon as we get here.
Well, that's a good thing.
Yeah, it's a great thing.
It beats the hell out of having a flat tire and then not enough money on the card and so.
Yeah. The Planet Doug effect is not getting in the way lately.
Yeah, it's been dormant for a little while.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, a little good luck comes in handy.
Perfect timing as far as the weather is concerned. We were actually looking at the weather with this rain app that one of your subscribers told us about, or one of mine as well, I guess.
Fleet, yeah.
Fleet, yeah. And oh yeah, there it is there. So with this app, you could actually see, it's not like a weather forecast. It's giving you an actual look at the cloud system, the rain coming in and out.
They're like here right now, what's going on. Yeah.
So we can see that a patch of rain was moving in our direction, and we just happened to be in the MRT when the rain hit, and it's already gone. So we're safe for a little while.
Yeah.
But at the beginning of the day, I was talking about a Cendol, and I'm pretty tired now. I think you're pretty tired.
I'm tired too. I pretty well ended my video for the day.
Yeah, we're both done.
I'll put a small section of us having the Cendol, and then that's it for me for the day.
But since I promised Cendol we shall have.
Promised yesterday, so we got to try today. Yeah, I had that on my video too, so we got to figure out what to do.
So it is open, more or less. This is the place. It's a new place. I haven't been here before, but I don't know whether it's good Cendol or the other place might end up being better. There's not a lot of action going on here right now. Yeah, there's a so yeah, this is like, that's ABC, right?
Yeah.
Air Batu Campur, and that's the big one. Okay. I don't know. I think the other place is better.
Okay. Either way.
Yeah, I think
Yeah. I just.
there's a lot more happening at the other place. So the place up the street there nothing seemed to be happening. There was like one older man sound asleep in the back. I didn't want to wake him up. So I thought, well, let's come here to my main place. They have like 2 locations over there, Rahman place, and then the same name over here. So yeah, Cendol biasa. It's mango, and then the pandan noodles. Biasa.
Okay.
Yeah. Just get 2 of these. And
Yeah. I'll meet you on that. Yeah.
we're busy making them right now. I think a lot of people are getting the durian because the durian is all the rage right now.
Is it? Well, yeah, it's durian season, right?
Durian season,
Yeah.
which is probably what we should get, but another day.
Yeah.
I think that's ours. Biasa. There we are. Right here?
Sounds good, brother. All right. So these are I have cameras on that side, and I'll sit farther this way. Can you move just a little over this way?
I can.
That way it gets you in frame. That way.
Oh yeah, you got your pocket
Yeah.
there.
You don't have much zoom out of capability. So explain what this dish is here, Doug.
Well, the secret to it, I believe, is that it's ice, of course, all shaved ice underneath.
Okay.
And then they combine it with noodles. Like these are flavored with pandan. It's like a green leafy vegetable, pandan. So you get the pandan flavor. And this one is with, I believe it's supposed to be with mango. But I don't know whether we got mango or not. Looks like maybe we only got corn, or is that mango? But also
Corn.
Coconuts
Yeah, corn.
combined with coconut milk.
So this is my first time trying it, and it's very strange, different.
Yeah, it's just shaved ice with green noodles and sweetened coconut milk. I mean, come on, can't really go wrong with that.
Very different though.
Very refreshing.
Yeah. And I'm not saying it's bad. It's just it's definitely not something you're used to in the States.
No.
And
we were talking about it this morning. The other one, the ABC kidney beans and like all kinds of different things mixed in.
yeah, it's kind of weird because it's like you got the iced milk, like icy, but then you got the noodles on top of it, and that's just and the corn is just super strange.
Oh yeah, I just ordered the biasa. Okay, I was supposed to get the biasa manga. I was going to get the mango, but so we didn't get the mango, but this is fine.
It's definitely an experience.
It's more about the ice and the coconut and the pandan. So
It's strange because you don't think these things would go together, but they kind of do. They actually they're kind of, like you said, strange from the outside, but once you eat it, it's like, yeah, it's pretty good. Anyway, guys, this is his suggestion, and actually it turned out to be a pretty good way to end the day here. So, this is the part I'm signing off, because I'm going to have way too much to edit tonight, guys. So, I'm going to say good night, y'all, and we'll catch you tomorrow. Good. I know I was trying to do this. I'm like, well, that'll look either really bad. That's okay. I don't mind though. You're a little weird. How's yours doing?
no idea.
So that's a full battery on mine.
Yeah.
That means I'm up around an hour. So once I drain a battery all the way down, it's an hour. An hour's worth of footage. I was able to clock that too. So if I bust this out, that means it's taking me over the hour point. That just means I won't have 2 days fit together. I'll have to do this one tonight.
Okay. Daniel wound up his video for the day, and I think I'm going to do the same. I don't think there's going to be any more small adventures coming for the rest of today. I'm done for the day. All along I was planning to end it with a cendol, and here it is. Yeah, gave it a good stir to get the sweetener on the bottom all mixed through. Yeah, just very refreshing. Bowl of ice with the coconut milk. It's pretty tasty.
And corn.
And corn in this case. All along I
noodles.
intended to get the mango one, but for some reason I glitched when I ordered and I totally forgot to get the mango version. That's all right.
And it's strangely delicious. It's something that you don't think would go together well. And it just kind of does. And yeah, it's a good treat. Yeah, thank you, Doug, for opening me to a new type of food.
Cools you down on a hot day. So I think that's it. Shutting down as always. And as always, there could be video updates, photo updates over on the Planet Doug Patreon. Go check that out. And these days anything I post there in the way of updates, I'm also posting to my YouTube channel on the posts page, not the videos. You click on the post tab, you'll find updates there, what I'm doing lately, anything important going on the channel. Planet Doug behind the scenes. sometimes telling behind the scenes stories there. So maybe I'll see you there. And if not, I'll see you back here on regular old Planet Doug. See you next time. We need a fancy sign off, you know, like catchphrase.